the leftist Atlantic magazine is asking for pandemic amnesty for themselves, for their fellow leftists, for those do-gooders who got everything wrong during the pandemic. You know, the same people who stated that if you thought perhaps that it was a lab leak, they branded you a conspiracy theorist. What proved to be true? They called you a racist for suggesting that it came out of a laboratory as opposed to the Chinese practice of buying animals to eat from a wet market. This is what they deemed racist. Everything was framed in such a way. You know what it was? It was a cynical attempt to remove Donald Trump from power. The Antichrist, they wanted off of the throne of American politics and to place themselves there. And guess what they did? They used the pandemic as a way to change the voting system, which today still causes us to potentially doubt the integrity of the elections. Because, and I'm not saying that this has ever happened, but there are a plethora, greater number of ways to cheat rather than keeping it very simple. This is what they introduced. They got to lock down small businesses that were selling to the public while Amazon and Walmart got to stay open and take over that market share as those sole proprietorships, as those small businesses went under, as people lost jobs, as they were forced to keep their children home from school because, hey, even though the children aren't affected, we got to protect Granny. We've got to mask everybody up. Has this proven to be true? Oh, gee, now that the narrative surrounding masks has changed back to what Fauci said at the beginning of the pandemic, that they do no good, and you can look that up. That is verifiable. Now that we've starting to doubt this, hey, what happened? We removed the mask mandates from flying thanks to a federal judge, I believe it was in Florida. And what happened? Did we have a massive outbreak of vicious COVID that destroyed many lives? No, we didn't. These fear mongers kept us in chains, and that's exactly what they want. They want to exert more centralized power and control. And what about protesting? In Michigan, they said that these were terrorists that were protesting, that were putting the public at risk. But the moment that Black Lives Matter decided to go and stage a massive insurrection, they were given absolute permission by the powers that be and were encouraged to do so, and that it was a medical necessity for them to do. Oh, gee, there's hypocrisy. And you want us to believe that it wasn't completely intentional. All of this managed to gain new power, to unseat Trump, to control the narrative via, now what we know as the DHS leaks, that the federal government was directly in contact with Facebook, with Twitter, with Google, in order to censor information that they didn't like, in order to get Donald Trump out of power and to raise you up. So, how about that? What did you guys get right? And now you want amnesty. Oh, whoops, but we want to maintain our position as your superior, and we want to tell you what to do. We want to control the flow of information because we are your moral superiors. But we got one wrong. We got two wrong. We got three wrong. We got them all wrong, but we still are your superiors. You are know-nothing rubes, deplorables that might vote Republican, that don't know your best interest, because we do, but y'all got nothing right. And you want amnesty now, and you want forgiveness. No, when you state that one group cannot protest because it's medical and the other group can, it's not because you're honest brokers. It's because you are cynical exploiters of a situation that you think will benefit you, and you want amnesty for such actions. Hell to the no. You deserve to go to jail. All of you people that operate in such a manner that you curtail other people's freedoms and do so wrongly, without a scientific basis. And all the while you said follow the science, you racists. Was your science correct? Yeah, let's go ahead and mandate a vaccine that doesn't even prevent transmission. Let's force everybody to get it, including those who are essentially immune from COVID. Theoretically, of course, this would be children, and you want to continue to force the mandates on them. And you close down the schools and cost children the ability to learn, to recognize facial cues and the misery that you caused, and you want forgiveness. Oh, forgive us, even though as time went on and it became more and more obvious that what you were prescribing was incorrect, you still want amnesty. No, thank you. Think of all the children's lives who have you affected. Think about the nation as a whole. Are we in a stronger position than before you took over the control of COVID, or a weaker position? Take a look at our military. Still mandates for the military, and many people don't want to take it. And you want to let go of Air Force pilots, Navy pilots that you've invested millions in training because they don't want to take a vaccine, that they're not at risk from the disease so much as they are perhaps theoretically from the jab. That's what you guys want, and you continue to mandate that, and the Biden administration is continuing to go down that path, and you want amnesty. Oh my gosh, I'm a broken record today, but hell to the no. We want to punish you. We want you to feel the pain that you've caused us, because you are nowhere near the moral superiors that you think you are. You are brain dead with egos that are far greater than your actual viable worth in society. The laptop class that performs no function that moves our economy. Merely people that sit in your ivory towers and pontificate. And it would be one thing if you got something right, but you got zero right. So kiss off, you authoritarian coronatarians. I hope that you get your comeuppance, and that it is dear, and that the Republicans take over the House and the Senate and expose you for what you are, much like the DHS leaks have exposed the government corruption and the violation of our First Amendment. Peace.